Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Jarvi blog. I'm Zach.
I'm Allie.
I'm Bill.
We come to you every Thursday morning with some of the new topics, new trends, and some of the old topics in the staffing world and labor world. And in our case, Grand Rapids. We're here on the roof of 616 Lofts. That's a Grand Rapids housing place where you can find housing. And I don't know if you can see behind us, but we got the downtown skyline back there. And I got a great view from over here. I think I see some lights for a stadium over there.
That might be Hausman's Field. I'm not really sure.
That might be, yeah. But it's a great location, beautiful day for a discussion. If you joined us last week, we talked about, what did we talk about last week?
We talked about kind of staying motivated in your job search.
That's right.
Yeah.
In silence. What to do if you have silence. But let's say you get placed. Let's say you're in a company. What are you looking for to help keep you there? As Bill always says, recruitment starts at retention. And it's a very true statement. You know, with unemployment rates as low as they are right now, it's going to be far easier to keep your employees, keep them happy, and develop your top talent than try and go out and find someone, because chances are they're employed right now and they're happy. So if you are trying to find someone, or if you are trying to keep someone, how do you set yourself apart from the rest?
Well, Zach, you and I were having a conversation earlier about a friend of yours who was kind of faced with that dilemma of, should I stay or should I go?
It's true, yeah. I didn't sing them a song or anything, but they were telling me they were thinking about leaving their job. It wasn't a money thing. It was just they wanted some new challenges, and I got into a discussion with them saying, what is it exactly about your current job that you don't like, and if you were going to find something, what is it that you were looking for? All the factors they gave me were like tertiary, you know. They wanted something that allowed them a little bit more freedom in their job, a little bit more flexibility in their schedule. They saw their friends that had flexible schedules and they wanted that. They had good vacation. They weren't upset about their vacation, but they felt like they didn't have enough work-life balance in their current role. So it was very interesting to have that conversation, because on a daily basis I'm thinking location, what's the pay, and what kind of benefits do you have working in a staffing industry? It's kind of what we think about mainly. Mm-hmm. But there's so many other factors that play into it. So we're going to have that discussion today. Mm-hmm. Bill, what are some of the creative things you've seen, or some of your favorite things to see in a retention strategy? Yeah,
great question. You know, there's a lot of different ways that companies try to keep and entice people to come work for them, and once you get them, to retain them as well, and so a lot of people like the idea of the flexible schedule. I know that's one of the things that I've enjoyed over my career is having flexibility to leave and come back, come in a little bit late, leave a little early. To kind of fill in the gaps with family stuff. If you're going across town or across state because of a soccer game, or junior's got a school play in the middle of the day, being able to go and participate in their lives is important.
There's a lot of definitions about flexible schedule. What's the one definition you stick to when you say flexible schedule?
Well, I think most of us would label ourselves as salaried.
Right.
And so, and we get stuck on the 40 hours a week. Now, many of us will work more than 40 hours a week.
Absolutely.
And we kind of fill in the gaps where we can. So, the target point is 40 hours, but there's some weeks where, if you have to leave an hour or two early, because you're going to go to your son or daughter's school, see an event, but then again, you're going to work an hour or two at night at home, doing emails or doing some of the things that you missed. So I think that is a good definition of flexible schedule. Some people have the opportunity to work from home. Some people.
That's a more commonplace thing now.
Oh, much so, yeah. And that's not just your computer developers. It's salespeople. It's across the board now. It's interesting how it's not just one position that works from home. It's multiple different types of positions.
Well, with the cloud, with a lot of technology taking place, we have cameras. We're looking at you on a camera right now. There's ways to have people working from home in roles that maybe they wouldn't perform well 5-10 years ago working from home in. Allie, outside of like flexible schedule, what are some tangible, I don't know, like maybe benefits or incentives that you've heard of that kind of catch your eye?
Yeah, so, I mean, we obviously all can't be Google, so we can't have, in-company gyms or in-company cafeterias where our meals are paid for. But we can build off that. So maybe you take something like your local gym that's right down the street from your office and you purchase all your employees' gym memberships so that they can go out on their lunch break or they can go after work or before work and, exercise for an hour, let off some steam, get ready for the day. You can bring in lunch, maybe that looks like once a month you purchase lunch for everyone in your office. I've also seen some like really creative things. I know of one company here in Grand Rapids that brings in masseuses for their.
Oh,
yeah, I know. We need to get on board.
Oh,
every other Friday.
Jarvi Vlog Masseuse Week.
Right? Yes. So every other Friday to reduce stress and just build employee loyalty is bringing in a masseuse for an hour.
Nice.
Absolutely.
I've even seen companies that let you bring your dog. Bring your dog to work. So let Fido sit under your desk.
Right. Just
so
little things, very tangible benefits, very tangible results. And especially with the wellness programs you talked about, the masseuse and the fitness programs, that actually can reduce sick time. I'm not going to rattle off stats that I'm not familiar with, but I have read a few studies where it reduces sick time and increases, people's ability to perform their job at a higher level over a longer period of time. Bill, what are some other maybe more ethereal benefits or things that you've heard of?
One of the ones that I've heard, and I think more companies are starting to lean that way, is unlimited or not keeping track of vacation time.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yep.
Yeah, it's, and much like yourself, I'm not going to rattle off statistics that I'd have to make up.
Right, yeah.
But, I've heard of companies who do that, and people don't take advantage of it. I think a lot of managers, a lot of bosses fear that if they did that, then they're going to have employees taking 7, 8, 9 weeks off during the summer. If their spouse is a teacher, then they're going to take the whole summer off too. And I don't necessarily see that happening. I see that, there's still a process involved with taking time off, and you still have a job to do. And
right, yeah. You've got numbers to achieve or goals to achieve. You've got targets to hit. Absolutely.
Yeah, and so if you take off too much time, you're not going to hit those. And people, I think, when they're allowed the freedom to be held accountable to their jobs, that they're going to do that and do it well. Yep. And they're going to be more refreshed, and there's all those benefits of having that time off. Otherwise, what happens is you try and figure out, okay, if I take 3 days off here and 2 days off here, and it really becomes more of a mental hassle to try to figure out when you're going to take time off.
Sure.
If you only
coordinate schedules.
Yes. And
I could be there Thursday, but you're not going to leave until Sunday.
And that becomes a stressor.
It's true.
It really does. And so I think a lot of companies are like, we don't want to create that stress. We want our employees to when they're here, just to focus on the job and not focus on how can they get an extra day off or how can they work the schedule so they're not having conflicts with their home life.
Absolutely. So, and I mean, generally speaking, this isn't going to apply to every industry, every sector, every employee, everyone. But generally speaking, I think people want to do a good job. They want to perform well. But they also want that faith from their employers and their supervisors and their managers that they believe that they will. They can have that two-way street type of relationship, and one person's not going to take advantage of the other one. Bill, do you see the things we've talked about working for every type of employee?
Well, no.
Right.
I mean, not every employee, not every company is the same. And so, for the companies here in Grand Rapids, the ideas that they come up with may be different from the ones in Chicago or Indianapolis or Austin or San Francisco or Atlanta. But I think what's key and what's important is finding out what works best for you and your company, finding out what works best for your team and your culture, and making that work. And not being afraid to fail. I mean, not being afraid to try something, and then a year or two into it, going, this isn't working out. This isn't really what we thought it was going to be, and we need to make some changes. And what's key is to communicate those changes to the employees.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back here next Thursday morning for another Jarvi vlog. As usual, we have not come up with a topic yet, but we will find one, and it's going to be lively. Special thanks to 616 Lofts for having us today.
Yes.
This is a great location, great afternoon for us to shoot this video. For this one specifically, we would love to hear your feedback. If there are any strategies that you employ or that you know of, we would love to actually have you comment those in the section below this video so that we can better understand what works for you and maybe what doesn't work for you. And in a future vlog, we'll definitely talk about those.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.